confirm if I'm recording. I think I am. Okay, so we'll do the assignment if you guys want. Up to you guys. If you want us to solve the assignment, we can. But we are not going to, I don't know. We've sorted, you know what? We can just, it won't take 20 minutes to do the assignment if you guys want. So you can use that if you want to attempt your assignment. So then we come back to the revision. Do we all support that?
Yes. Yeah, it's quite fun. No, just shut down.
Okay. I
Sure,
want
go
I want
ahead.
people to talk, like this is supposed to be interactive. Let us all speak up.
Yeah, we did together. We did together. We'll just show now, then we can't go back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Circle.
All right. Um, should be here.
Shit.
All right. I'm not going to do this part because this is something you can do by yourself. You say find out the commands for checking running processes on your terminal. It's simple as ABC. The command is PS. Now it now says list any 5 processes you see when they do for your system. What they do for your system. Sorry, your opinion. Let me show you what this part is requiring. So this is like just I'm going to move this to this side. All right. So when you type PS, the first part says find out the command to run processes. The command is PS. See, if you want to submit this now, you can do a screenshot that holds, that can just grab this place for you. You put it in your Word file if you want. Or then the other part says list 5 processes you see when you run PX. So for you to see up to 5 processes, you run PX AUX, which means list for all users. This is it. So these are all processes, all these things you are seeing. So you can just go with any random 5. You can choose this, yeah, just like this. Copy it and put it in your ChatGPT and explain ChatGPT to tell you what this is doing. This is a process that is currently running. Then you copy maybe this message plus 2, like that, like that, like that. So you put this in your Word file, and below it you explain what ChatGPT tell you it does. But don't give generic response. Change 1 or 2 words. ChatGPT, if you cover person, it includes dash in some of the things you is generating the text. So try and edit so it looks, you can humanize it and it looks readable. So that's just that about that. So this other part, which I believe is like the main challenge, it says create 3 users, Mary, Joseph, and John on your Linux system. Then create a file index.js. You can use placeholder text in the file or any other content, very short. Give each user different privileges / permission to the file. And I'm sure a lot of us are going to make mistakes. This is like a trap they are setting for us here. What they are asking you to do here, OSCO have not taught you. They've not taught us. I want you to trust that. And it is understandable. They just want you to read outside old school. But we'll be doing all of that to let them know we are up to the challenge. So I've done this assignment. You are just going to give me like 2 minutes to remove all the users and groups I've created so I can start afresh again. So are we able to see my terminal?
Yes.
Let me make it bigger. We can't go bigger than this. It says cannot log. Let's see. Joseph Mary is gone. Why is John not gone? Joseph. This is why I like to be in my roots to avoid all this. User John does not exist. All right. So we are going to start with the first part of that question. It says create 3 users. If you have your laptop in front of you, I expect us to have it. You can split your screen, like make this call just like I've made my Chrome, and open your terminal on the other side, so you can do it along with me. So it says create 3 users, Mary, John, and Joseph. This is like the easiest part for us because we've done this many times. So we do user add Mary. I like to be in my roots, but someone said I shouldn't always stay in my roots because of this sudo command I have to always pass first. I tend to forget most times. Alright, so we've created Mary, John, and Joseph. We can find out by doing cat/etc/groups. I'm going to groups because if you want to see them as users, you do pass wd, you see them here, Mary, John, and Joseph. But if you also check them, they've also created a group for us, for themselves rather. Yeah, Mary, John, and Joseph. I personally don't like creating them like this, but I don't want to. I've explained in the previous video that I made how to create users without them creating groups. So here now, these are groups created in the user's name. You can avoid this by just creating the users and putting them in one group. But this is the first part of the assignment. You've created a user. We've created a user called Mary, Joseph, and John. Then now we have to create a file, index.js. So let me see. This is where I did my assignment. Is that inside this user? So if I list it, you see I have index.js here, but I'm going to delete it. Let me see. Okay, it's deleted. So I'm going to delete it and do it all over again. I'm also going to remove this directory. Okay, and I'll remove this text. Alright, so we've created Mary, Joseph, and John. We are now going to create a file, and we are going to put a placeholder inside the file. A placeholder means just write anything you like inside the file. So there are 2 ways to do this. We can do this the traditional way. We create a file with touch. Touch is the command to create a file, and the name of the file, index.js. If you do ls to list, index.js is created. Then you can then do nano and open your index.js file and write whatever you like. You can also create it once and for all with the text you want to put inside by saying echo. Remember, in this case now, we are assuming we don't have the file. If I do list, I've deleted it, I don't have the file. So if you want to create it once with your short text, you do echo. Let's say we want to write, this is an index file, in quotation, either single or double. Then the name of the file you want to create, index. Oh, sorry, you use a greater than sign. That means you are saying echo, like copy this, throw this text inside this index.jx. So if it will search for index.jx on your laptop. If you can't find it, it creates it itself. So if you do ls, you see it's there. And if I try to see what is inside, can you see this is an index file? Do we all understand?
Yeah, I do.
Anybody else? Any question before we move on? Okay. So now, it now says, so we've done the first and second part. We've created the user, we've created the index file, and we've put a placeholder inside the file. Please, you can put whatever you like inside your file. You can write ABC to Z, but remember it says very short here. So you don't have to put this is an index file. You can put anything you like inside. So it now says give each user different privileges / permission to the file. Now this is where I'm going to be teaching us or introducing us to what we call ACL. ACL is used to set permission. Now, do you remember that if you want to set permission for a file, we use chmod? Like for example, this index file, this index.js. If we do ls -al, it will list all the permission of this file, right? Sorry, let me do that again so that I can select ls -al and name of the file, so our terminal won't be rough. You can see it says this file, the user has a read and write permission, the group has a read and write permission, and others have read permission. The previous, the one that we know is chmod. Say I want to change the user's permission to full permission, we set it to 7. Or the way I prefer to do it is user plus, say the user already has a read and write permission here. I want the user to have a read, write, and execute. So I can say user plus har, which is plus x, which is the remaining permission for it to be complete. And I specify the name of the file, index.jx. If I check the file permission again, you'll see that the user now have a full permission. There is another way to do it. You can also say, let's say we want to set a read and write permission for others here. This one I highlighted here. You can say chmod others equal to, remember here, if you remember, we used the plus sign here. Here we are using equal to. I can say equal to read and execute, and I use index.js. If you check the file permission again, you see that others now have read and execute. The same result but different method. So the difference is that this plus, if a user or group or others have already been specified to have a particular permission, let's say read for example, or read and write for example, and you want the user to now have read, write, and execute. Previously they had read and write. You can either specify that user plus permission. That's what I'm saying here. That means add permission, add execute to the user's permission. And you can see when it came down here, the results here, he added execute to the user's permission. But if I can also use this equal to sign to set the same thing, but the difference is this equal to rewrites everything all over. So both methods give you the same result, but it is very safe to do it in such a way that you won't overwrite your own files. So if you already have a permission set, just include the permission you want to with plus, or subtract with minus. Let's say for example now, these others here have a read and write permission. We want to remove their write permission. I can do chmod others equals to, I just write permission and the name of I'm not going to run this. It will give me a write permission only for others, but The semantical way, like the right way, both will give you the same results, but the right way to do it, if he already has a permission, is to do user, I mean, group rather. The group is the one in the middle. Then you minus the permission you want to take out. Let's say read. So it will only have the right permission and indexed. So if you check again, the read permission would be removed and we only have right permission for the group. Can you see? Do we all understand? There is a reason why I'm explaining this, because it's about to get a little bit tricky. Now, this question is saying give each user different privileges. So if we are setting read, write, and execute permission for a file, you know this read, write, and execute, the first part stands for users. How do we now set, like it's just one user, one group, and one others that is always specified on the file. How do we set permission for different users? Now this is it. This is where the ACL command comes in. So I'm going to give us an illustration that will make us understand, so it won't sound like I'm speaking foreign language. So imagine all of us now, when we graduate, we want to go and work for a company. And in that company, we want to join a group of developers or infrastructure engineers. A noise is coming from someone, I don't know who that is. So imagine we want to join a group of cloud engineers or developers or whatever, but we are still interns, or I am an intern. They won't give me full permission to their files. If they have a group like this that has full permission, read, write, and execute, and they've specified that anybody that joined this group can have read, write, and execute command or permission. When I join, they now want to restrain my own permission to read alone, so I am unable to modify any file. That is where the ACL command comes in. I'm going to show us. So let me clear my screen. I'm going to show us. So if you have your laptop with you, it will be very good for you to run this command along with me. If you type get facl and the name of the file, we get this result. Jit star, please mute your mic for us. Thank you. God bless you. So as I was saying, if you run this command, which is, I believe, is new to everybody. It was new to me too when I saw that assignment. So if you run this command, get facl and the name of the file, it will give you this breakdown. The file is index.js. The owner is Vagrant. The group is Vagrant. The user have read, write, and execute. The group have only write permission, and others have read and execute permission. Now, we go back to the question again. It said set different permission for each user. Now remember, we created 3 users, Mary, Joseph, and John. How do we set permission for each of them? Now, I've told you the command we are using is ACL. Now, ACL have different flags and syntax you can pass to it. If you want to set permission for John, remember, all the users that can see this file, they have read, write, and execute. So it means John have read, write, and execute. Mary have read, write, and but we want to set, let's say Mary, for example, now is an intern. She doesn't know anything, she's still learning. So we want to make sure this file is very important to our company. Imagine you can, if you were in the first life class we held, I mean the one old school held, our instructor told us that there are some files that even her herself, the company will tell her, no touch am. Sorry for my broken English. So there are some files that you are not meant to touch at all. So instead of telling you don't touch it, and you know human now, they can go and touch and just company will just collapse from there. They can actually restrict your access from touching it, and you are a user in that group. The group have read, write, and execute permission, but they will make sure you have limited permission, which is what we are trying to do. So let's say out of the three people now, Joseph, John, and Mary, let's say John for example, let's say John is the new intern, and we don't want John to have the full permission. This is what we'll do. Or we can also use this illustration. Let's assume John is from is an outsider, but they are working in our company on a short-term basis, let's say 3 months. So we don't want them to have full permission over our files. Let's say Mary is the senior cloud engineer and John is the intern. Each of them can have different permission. So they will be able to read the same file, but the person that will be able to, just like, okay, when I share you a Google document, I can actually restrict anybody from editing it, where you have to send me a request to allow you edit that document. That is just the exact same thing we are trying to do here. Someone is going to own the file. Yes, Charles, this is recorded, but that doesn't mean it should run away. Someone is going to own the file, and others are going to have limited access to the file. So I've given like 3 different illustrations. It is just the ACL command is just meant to restrict anyone's permission, even though there is a generic or general permission that should allow that person. So if I'm in a group of cloud engineers and that group, they've given us permission to read, write, and execute different files, but they are like, this boy, you are new, so let's just give you read permission. Read permission means I can only see, I can't write anything, and I can't run any command, but I'm in that group anyways. So how do we do it? So we are going to use the command called set fcal, ACL, sorry, I used to call it fcal. So you are setting ACL. Now it means we want to set permission for a particular person. Set, or we can, we can start by saying we want one of the people that one of the users to have access, to be the owner of this file. So we can say change ownership. I want to change ownership from Vagrant to, let's say, Mary. Okay, sorry, I have to use sudo. Cannot access Mary. I keep forgetting to use sudo. Cannot access Vagrant, no such file or directory. Give me a minute, let me check something. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. I did not specify the name of the file I'm changing ownership for. So you say sudo, you are changing ownership. The name of the the name of the new group. You know what? Let me do this so that we can understand better. Get ACL for index.js, right? So you can see the current owner is Vagrant and the current group is Vagrant. So we can set one of the users that we've created to be the bona fide owner and set a group. We don't have to set a group, we can just change the owner. We say change ownership, sudo change ownership, the name of the new group we want the person to go to. Now this is, I want us to pay attention. Remember when we use add user, it creates a group for us. So it means that even though we've created a user called Mary, John, and Joseph, a group called Mary, John, and Joseph too have also been created. So we can specify any of those 3. They are already groups now to be the new group or new user or whatever we want. So we are changing ownership from, let's say, the new user we want to own this file now is let's say John, and the name of the file. If you run it and you check again, you see John is now the new owner of this file. I don't know if you understand. If you want to change the group, you can follow the same method. You can use the change group command, but I like to use this command. So you can say sudo.
Recording is on.
Okay. Someone started another recording. I'm already recording on my end, but anyways. If you want to change the group, you can say sudo change ownership space and a colon. Yeah. And the name of the new group you want them to belong to. You know we have a group called John, Mary, and Joseph. Or we can set a group admin or whatever. We set the name of the group. Let's say we want them to belong to the Mary group, for example. And the name of the index.js. It says cannot access Mary, no such file. Okay, let me do this. I think there is no space between this here. Yeah, so this place has no space. So if you do get FACL again and the file, you'll see the new group is now Mary and the new owner is now John. Whereas before, if you come up, the previous group was Vagrant and the owner was Vagrant. Do we understand? Guys, please unmute your mic and ask me to repeat this step again if you don't understand. Can we move on? Okay, someone is raising their hand. Please unmute your mic and speak.
Sorry, no, we can. Please, I don't mind your explanation, please.
Okay, no worries, no worries. I'll do that again. So I'm going to clear, and so I was explaining something for those that just joined. I said the traditional way to set permission for a file. So when you do ls minus al, you get all the permission history or the permissions for different files. But in this case, we just want to show our index.js file. So we can see our user have read, write, and execute. The group have only write permission and others have read and execute permission. But I did also mention that inside these users, this user is not user, is with an S, users. So inside these users that currently have read, write, and execute permission, we can set different permission for each of the users that are under. And I used an illustration that imagine Mary is an intern and she just joined GT Bank. She just joined their cloud team. Now, the cloud team have the permission to read, write, and execute. It means they can see, they can edit, and they can run a new command. Just like you are pushing a new code, you edit a code and push it. That's the permission they currently have. But because Mary is an intern, they don't trust her that she can do the job properly yet. They are not like, okay, Mary, don't touch this thing, no. But instead of saying Mary don't touch it and Mary touches it and GT Bank is like down for, how GT Bank server used to go down anyhow, they can just restrict Mary's permission once and for all, and they can have a good night's sleep knowing Mary does not have access to the file. So how can we set a different permission for a user under a group called users? Mary, who is the intern, how do we limit her permission? How do we make it so that she can only read the document? She doesn't have access to write or execute it, even though it has been specified that everybody in that group can read, write, and execute. That's what I'm trying to explain. So to do that, there is a command called ACL. Now, if you want to know, let me create another file, for example. Let me say touch altschool.txt. This is an altschool file. This is a file. Now let's check the permission for this altschool.txt. We can, the traditional way, we can say ls minus al altschool.txt. It shows us that users of this file can read and write. Groups that the group that this file belongs to can read and write, and others can only read, right? Now, how about if we want to check for specific users under this group? Under here, we want to check for individual person. like, okay, the managing director, what permission does he have? The chief executive officer, what permission does he have over this particular file? So for example now, say I'm an intern and I want to edit a file and I'm unable to edit it, but I don't know who to reach out to. Let's say I have like 20 bosses. I want to know who has the permission, who owns the file, who created the file. You use this command so I can know who to reach out to, that my oga, please help me, I want to access this file, can you please change my permission so that I can access it. If you want to know these details, you use this command I'm about to show you. Get FACL and the name of the file, let's say altschool.txt. You can see it says this file name is altschool.txt. The owner of this file is Vagrant. That means if I want to do anything, I have to go and speak to Vagrant that, yes sir, please, or yes ma'am, can you please change my permission, I want to do something in this group. And this is the group all of us belong to, Vagrant, right? And this is the user's permission, the group permission, the other's permission. Remember, we've created Mary, Joseph, and John. So Mary, Joseph, and John are part of this user. Are you with me? But we now want to set it that, okay, users can have full permission. So let's set users to have full permission for this altschool.txt. We say chmod or chmod. The user, they already have a read and write permission, so we just add the execute permission and we say index. Sorry, I have to use sudo. I like to switch to my roots, but I've had like 2 or 3 people tell me it's best to stay outside my root, and this is the reason why I forget this sudo command. It's more easier if I'm in the root, I just run it direct. So you see, I just ran the command and it showed no syntax error. So let's go and do get. No, let's do ls minus al altschool txt. Oh, I did it for index, not altschool. Let me do that again. So let's do it again. We say sudo users. So you can see the user here already have a read and write permission. We want to add an execute permission. Then altschool.txt. We do ls minus al altschool.txt. You can see the user now have a full command, full permission. So under this, we now want to set each user. We want to limit some users not to have this full permission, even though they are supposed to. That is what we are trying to do. So you can see here, users have full permission. And we have, so it means John, Mary, and Joseph have full permission. This is what it just means. John, Mary, and Joseph that we created, they are user. And any other, you know what, let me show you something else. If you say cat etc/etc/pass wd. See all these users, they have permission over that file that I just showed you. All these users you are seeing, they have permission over this file. They have a read, write, and execute. Imagine this is everybody working in a workplace, and someone out of all these people goes to make or modify something, and we can't tell who. So this ACL command is used to control who has access, so that when issues happen, it is very, very easy to narrow down to who did what, instead of sitting everybody down and questioning them. Look at how many people you have to speak to before you get to the bottom of the matter. So again, that is where the ACL command comes in. So I'm going to show us how to use it. So we are working with this file. So, and I mentioned that you can change the owner of the file. So if you want the owner to be John, you can change the ownership. You can say sudo change ownership. You set give me a minute. Everything is confusing in my brain right now. I ran the command earlier, but I think you set the old name, which is Vagrant, and the new name, which is John. cannot access John. So I think it's um, John. Oh yeah, I understand what's going on. I'm correct. I didn't set the name of the file. Give me a minute. Let's go txt. It says no file, no such file. Change. Actually, John. Let's go txt. Yeah. So if you do get FACL, you have to permit my errors sometimes. You know I'm a learner like you guys. So if you do this, you can see the owner's name has changed. So for you to change the owner name, so if you are doing this assignment, try and change the owner to one of the three persons you've created, the three users, so it looks more cleaner. And if you want to change the group, you do sudo change ownership colon the new group you want to change to. Remember, each of the users creates a group themselves. So let's say we want to change to Joseph group. Joseph and the name of the file, osco.txt. If you go and check, you can see our group is called Joseph and the owner is called John. Now let's get down to the main business. We want to set John, Joseph, Mary to have different permissions. So this is what we'll do. You do set FACL. So you are setting permission for each of these users now. Then use the flag -m, which means modify. Now, who are we modifying? You say user colon the name of the user now. If it is group, you set this as G. If it is for others, you set it as O. So because it is users we are working with, you say U colon the name of the user. John is the owner, so by rights John should have full permission. So I'll say user, who is John, read, write, execute. That means John should have a read, write. Sorry, I have to put sudo here. So that means user, who is John, should have a read, write, and execute command. Or we can restrict his permission to just read alone. So John, even though he's owner of the file, we want to restrict his permission to read alone. And we set the name of the file, allschool.txt. Before I run this command, I'm going to explain it again. We have a file called allschool.txt, but we want to set different permission for each of our users, Joseph, John, and Mary. So for John now, even though it has been specified on the file permission that I cut for us earlier, that users can have here, you can see it here that users can have read, write, and execute command. We now want to restrict each of the users to have different permission. So like the chief executive officer can have full permission, the deputy can have read and write, like half permission, and whoever is working as just ordinary employee can have. That is why when you go to the bank, for example, if they want to do some things for you, maybe lift restriction from your account, they will tell you to hold on to go and speak to the bank manager. You will see them discussing at the bank. That is because only that bank manager have access or permission to carry out that action. Do you understand? So what you do now, so let's assume all of us are now in a company. We've assigned our chief of staff, we've assigned our head of security, but we've not given them permission. We now want to say, okay, John, who is our chief executive officer, from today henceforth, you only have a read permission on this file. This is what we are doing with this command. So we use the set FACL, this flag -m. We specify who we are setting this permission for, John. We now say John can only have read permission over this file. I'm going to press enter now. And I'm going to go and do get FACL allschool.txt. You can see now it says although all users have full permission, John has been restricted. He can only read. Am I making sense? Anyone? It says all users,
Sure.
all users. So the illustration I used earlier when I said if you are an intern, this is a real life situation now. If all of us are going to be intern, or some of us might be lucky to get a junior developer role straight up. But for all of us that will be intern, when we join the team, this is what they are going to do to us. They are going to say, although welcome to GT Bank, we are happy to have you as part of the team of cloud engineers. Please, can you mute your mic? They will tell you, although we are happy to have you in our team of cloud engineers, but for now, until we are sure you are good at what you do, you can make changes.
Mute your mic.
Please mute your mic. G-Star, please mute your mic. Thank you. So back to what I was explaining. So they will tell you, I mean, it's just the logical thing to do now. If you are a CEO of a company yourself and you just employ someone, are you going to let them start having access to your bank account and seeing all the transactions coming in? You are going to restrict their access that, let me see your behavior for the first 1 month. If I'm okay with it, you get permanent appointments here. But for now, just be sitting outside first. Make a deal. Let me be observing you first. So this is what it just means that, okay, you are part of our group, but for now, you can only read this file. So that assignment said, set each permission for each user. So for John, I'm going to be setting full permission for John because we've already specified here. I mean, it only makes sense that the owner of the file have full permission, right? So we are going to do sudo. You know what? I can just go back to the here. So I will come here. You know, it was read permission we only set. We just write and execute. That's all, and we run it. If you go back to do get FACL, you see that John has full permission, rightfully so. He's the owner. He's supposed to have full permission. Now,
sorry, Jerry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm a bit lost though. That when you wrote that code at sudo set FACL minus m u colon John, that minus mu, what does it really mean? Like, what is that whole code that you're putting in right now? What is it meant to do?
Okay, maybe you just joined. I explained it like a while ago. Set FACL.
Yeah, my network was lagging there.
It's alright. I'll explain again. Set FACL is the command you are using to set individual permission for each users. This minus m stands for modify. Minus m stands for modify. So in any other thing you are doing, if you see minus m, even if it is not set FACL, you know they are modifying. This u is the user. We are specifying the user. Do you understand?
Okay.
We are specifying which user. So if you are specifying the user now, we've mentioned John. We can also say the user is Joseph. If you don't want to use u, the other alphabet you can pass is G here. So if you have different groups under this group, if you have different groups again, and want to set a particular group to have a particular permission, just like we are setting one user to restrict their access. If you have multiple groups under here, we can set this place to G and state the name of that group that we want to limit their access. That, okay, with this group, we currently have a read and write permission for everyone under this group, but this particular group, their wahala too much. They are always making mistake. We want them to only have a read permission, or we want to remove all their permission. So, and then you pass the name of the file you are trying to modify. Do you understand now?
Yeah, so it's still kind of similar to that whole.
Yes, everything
plus.
Yes,
plus the,
yes,
so
exactly.
Yeah, I get you now.
So we've just set a full permission for John. I'm going to do for Joseph, and someone is going to volunteer to do for Mary. So for Joseph now, I'm going to change this group name from Joseph back to Vagrant that it was, so it makes sense. We can't have a group called Joseph anyways. So sudo change column and the name of the group Vagrant and the altschool.txt. If I do get FACL altschool.txt, you can see the group name has been changed back. Or I can create a new group, name it developers. Should we do that? I can create a new group, name it developers, and set everybody the owner of this the group where John, Mary, and what's it called is, you know. But that's like we have a lot to do. So now we want to also, we've given John, let's say John is the owner of the company, we've given him full access. He can come in, go out, write, execute, push, delete, whatever he likes. Let's say he has a deputy, Joseph. Now Joseph is the one running things. Let's say he's the site manager, for example. We want Joseph to have a read and write permission, such that before he executes anything, he has to run it through John first. A normal hierarchy in a workplace, they give you power that, okay, you are our new general manager, but before you can do this, you have to reach out to this person for them to review and correct and edit with you. Before you can, only them have the permission to stamp, right? So now we are going to set permission for Joseph, only read and write permission. Now we'll say sudo set facl -m, user is who? Joseph. Now what command are we specifying for Joseph? Just read and write, and the name of the file. If I go back to get facl and the name of the file, you can see Joseph now have his own permission. So again, even though everybody here, meanwhile, let me also tell you something. Imagine we have 100 users here in this when we do get fxcl, we have 100 users that have access to this file. As we are specifying that Joseph can read and write, Mary can have read and execute, John can have read, write, and execute, we can set all the remaining 97 users to have no permission. So even though all users are supposed to have read, write, and execute, we can control who and who doesn't have access. They will be able to, we can let them read alone, we can restrict their permission even though we've specified that they can read, write, and execute. Do we understand to this point?
Yes.
Now I need someone to volunteer to come and do set permission for user Mary, such that Mary has only read permission, or Mary has no permission. Is anybody willing? Is anyone willing? I'm going to pick someone. Michael, do you want to show us?
Hold on just a bit. I'm trying to see if I can get it here.
What about Temi? Temi, can you show us?
Jay, I was not doing it with you. So it's after the class. I'm just going to.
Latifa, I can see you have two devices connected, so it means you are doing it while watching. Do you want to show us?
I'm just using my system to project, except you want me to say it out, like.
Okay, why not? Say it, and I'll just do exactly. But let me clear my screen first so you don't cheat.
Okay, so. Okay.
So I want Mary. Mary is our new intern.
So accepting Mary.
Yeah, we want Mary to have only read permission.
Read only permission.
Yes. So what do we do?
Okay. So sudo.
Okay.
Sudo space.
Okay.
Set facl space -m space. Is that funny? Then u : as user : then her name Mary colon R, that's read, space, then the name of the file, index old school.txt.
Latifa, are you sure you've not written this thing down before?
No, now I'm following.
Okay, that's very beautiful. It
The
shows
only
you are.
thing I was going to ask, okay, so I was going to ask, you said we could actually do no permission. So what would be in the place of the R?
In
Are
the
we just
place
going
of
to
the
leave it blank?
R, you know what? There was a time. See, I don't know, but I'm going to experiment, so we can do it together. So I think what should be there is, let me try 0 and let's see. I'm just trying. I've never done this before. But I know that there was a time I was actually trying to find out if I want, using that chmod, if I want to set no permission. It says I can say owner equals to 0. So it's just like saying 700. So let's see if that is correct. Get FACL output.txt. Where is Mary? Is Mary here? See, she has no permission. That means using 0 is correct.
Okay.
Is that clear? So
Yes,
we'll go back and
thank
set
you.
Mary's permission to read alone. So for some of you that have done this assignment and you've only changed the file permission, the generic one, you have to resubmit your assignment because this is what you are asked to do. So once you do it, how do you submit to our school? Just do get FACL and the name of the file. I know we are dealing with index.txt, but I'm just using this one to explain. So as it is like this, you just take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot like this. I mean, you can snap with your phone too. You take a screenshot and you capture. See, it has saved for me. And you submit it. So that is that assignment. If you have any questions before we move on to what we have to do today, please, now is the time and we can, solve whatever it is together. Any question, anyone? Please go ahead. You can unmute your mic and speak. You don't need my permission to speak.
Okay. The question is, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So the question is, basically when you are like, I don't know how to put it. When you want to how do you let's say for instance you want to change John as the owner. Basically you want to swap. You don't want John to be the owner of the file anymore. You want maybe somebody else.
Okay. I did that earlier, but I'm just going to do that again. So this is what you do: sudo change ownership. You should know this command by default. Change ownership. You are changing the ownership of the file. Now you pass the name of the new owner you want to set. Admin, web, whatever the name is. In this case, let's set, who can we set to be the new owner? Let's say we want to, just for this example anyway, let's say we want to set Mary to be the new owner. You say Mary and the name of the file. This is the syntax before I run it. Change ownership. You start with sudo, of course, because you are doing what a super user should be doing. So sudo change ownership. The name of the new person you want to own the file and the name of the file you want to be owned by the new person. If I run this command and do get FACL altschool.txt, you can see Mary is now the new owner. Is that clear?
Thank you. It's clear.
Yeah. Any other person? Any other question? Any other question? If there is any part you don't understand, I'm happy to go over it again. All right. So that concludes that all school assignment. So once you are able to do this that we just did, and you've listed, so I mentioned that you can do a screenshot, you can also snap, and in your word documents you can insert the picture, and that's it. You've done the two assignments and you come and upload here. Or alternatively, you can just come here and upload the screenshots. These screenshots that I made, you can add it here as a file, and that's it. You are done. So that concludes the assignment. So before we go on to do anything else, is there anyone here that I've been meaning to ask any question generally regarding what we've been doing at Alt School? Maybe you need help with a particular topic, or your machine is not behaving well, or you don't know how to do something. Please ask your question so we can put you
Um, my question is on FSH, basically, that topic.
Sorry, can you say that again?
SSH.
What? Oh, SSH.
SSH.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what about it don't you understand?
It was like like using let me say I don't know what they call that external this thing.
Digital
Just
Ocean.
basically explain everything. Yeah.
Okay, so guys, I wanted to do something today. I wanted to use either Digital Ocean or AWS EC2 to explain some things to us, but somehow I have to pay for it, and it doesn't make any sense if although I have added my card details and all of that, but it would be nice if I'm going to show us towards the end of this class how to create an account. So we'll have another class another time to show us how to log in to a virtual server like the Amazon EC2, the one that was demonstrated to us in the last class. To explain this SSH topic, I'm happy to do that, but know that I don't have a Digital Ocean account. I think I need to have money to do that. I tried all my possible best yesterday. I even read somewhere that you get $60 credits when you, is it 60 or 100? $60 credits when you sign up for free. So you know that when you get to that place where it says you need to select plan before you can go ahead, and it wants to take money off me, and I don't have $5 or if I had my card now, it might just keep taking my money. So but the EC2, I also read that when you sign up, which is why I'm going to encourage us to sign up sometime in this class, you can get free $200 on your account. So that free $200, you can use it to do anything you like, for the next 6 months. But let us leave all the small talks and explain SSH. So what does SSH mean itself? SSH means logging in. So if I exit my Vagrant, you see this Vagrant file, it contains, when I do Vagrant SSH, it logs me in automatically. This Vagrant file contains, so you know that when you run some command on your laptop, you notice it will ask you for password. If you had a file that contained the password, it won't ask you, because this Vagrant file contained that password. So when I do Vagrant SSH, it's supposed to ask me for a password, but the password is inside this Vagrant file, so you don't need to stress yourself. So if you do Vagrant SSH, it takes me in, but trust me, it has gone to check if the correct password is in here, and when it realizes it is, it tells you welcome to Ubuntu 20 points. So now let's go and treat the SSH topic. So SSH is quite simple, right? If let me give an instance, you know what, let me see. To see all your hidden files, you use ls-al. You can see we have a .ssh here, but I'm going to remove it. I think it's a folder, so I will remove it. Remove -rf.ssh. If I do ls-al, it no longer exists. So let me clear my screen. ls-al. AL. So how do we get, so your SSH, when you are logging into a digital uh, server like the Digital Ocean, I wish I have an account, it will be very easy to explain, but trust me, if you followed what the instructor showed us, you know having the Digital Ocean account is like the last part. You know what, maybe on our next class I'll try and set up an account, and if I'm able to set it up for free, I'm going to tell the rest of us. Or if there's anyone that has set up a Digital Ocean account here, they can indicate and we can use that as the example. But the shortcut is, when you want to host on your Digital Ocean or any other virtual server, you know, there is a way to connect your laptop, which is your host machine, and your server together, so that whatever you are doing it in that server, not on your machine anymore. So it's just like you are logging in from here to that server. Do you understand? But how does that server know that you are authorized to log in? That is what the SSH key is for. So let's say you are in the process of setting up your server, you get to a point, it was demonstrated in the last class too, when she wanted to log into the EC2 instance server, it asked her for the SSH key. So it's just like, where is your ID card to log into this secured place or this secured site? Your ID card is your SSH. So for you to get that SSH, you do SSH key gen. So you are generating a key for your host machine, for your Linux. So it is that key you go and give to your server and say, this is my ID, and it lets you in. So when you do SSH key gen, so it says generating public/private RSA key. Enter the file in which you want to save the key. You don't need to enter any file name. You can, but I don't recommend. This is like the default way. Just press enter, and it says you should set a password. If you want, you can, but I don't see the point. You just press enter password again, you press enter. When you see this box, doesn't matter if you are using Mac or Windows, it means the key has now been generated. How do we see it? You do ls-al. Now our SSH folder that contains private and public key is a hidden file, so it starts with a dot. You can't see it if you do ls. See, you can't see it. But if you want to see all the hidden files, that is the dot and dot files, you do ls-al. You can see our .ssh file is there now, and you can go. So on my own terminal, I've customized it such that anything that is a folder displays in blue, like a directory. Anything that is a file displays in yellow. So automatically, without me even stressing myself too much, I can tell that this .ssh is a folder, so I can cd into it. If I try to cd into this .bash.rc, it will bounce back because it is a file. You can't cd into a file, you can only cut a file. So I want to cd into this .ssh. You do cd .ssh. See, you now have this extension, this .ssh extension, meaning you've gone inside that door. You are now inside your SSH. If you do ls now, you can see your ID_RSA, which is the public key, which is your private key, and this one is your public key. You can see it has .pub. So to log into your server, most of the time, from what we've been taught in our school, it is your private key you use. So if you want to see the content of your private key, you can do cat ID_RSA and you send. This is your private key. Oh, I think you have to use your public key. Sorry. So because the private key is the long one, so the short one is your public key. So you do cat ID_RSA.pub. Just always know, even if you confuse which key to use, just always know the shorter one is the one you are supposed to use. The longer one you are not supposed to. So you copy everything like this, go and put in the server that is waiting for you, and that is it. Then when you come back here, for you to now remember, when we want to log into Vagrant, we did Vagrant SSH. So for you to now log into that server, you run, let me go out of here. For you to now go inside that server, you now do SSH root at. So you see, when you set up an online server, a virtual server like AWS, EC2, or that Digital Ocean, it will give you an IP address. So when you do SSH, you are saying I want to log in. SSH is I want to log in. Then you want to log in as a root user. You do root at, let's say the what's it called? The IP address we were given is 139.0.33, Let's say this is the IP address. Once you press enter, you are leaving your Linux, your Vagrant, and you are going inside that machine. So let me also show you something. Anything you do inside that virtual machine now stays on that virtual machine. If you come out of the virtual machine, if you try to do ls, you won't see those files anymore. I will explain something for us that will make us understand better. Let's say I leave my Vagrant now. Say I'm outside my Vagrant. If I do ls, you know what? Let me leave cd dot dot, cd dot dot again, cd dot dot again. Okay, let me stop. Let me go back again. cd dot dot again. I'm on my desktop. If I do ls, see, these are all the files I have on my desktop. Are you guys with me? These are all the files I have on my desktop. These are all the files I have on my desktop. So why is it that when I go inside my Vagrant, I don't see all these files anymore? Or why is it that I can't see the files in my Vagrant here? So your Vagrant is a virtual server too. It's not on your machine. For you to log in into it is why you do Vagrant SSH. So you are logging into it. Whatever you do on Vagrant stays inside Vagrant. So you are now in Vagrant now. You also want to go to the cloud, like the AWS or the DigitalOcean. It means you are leaving the Vagrant and you are going inside your cloud. So whatever you do inside there too stays there. It is not on your Vagrant. So if I decide to go back to I want to go back to the Vagrant now. Let's say I do Vagrant SSH. Permission denied. Public key. I encountered this error the last time I changed my what's it called? My key. I encountered this error. But let me try and what was that command? Tell me Vagrant destroy, I think. Let's see. Yes. So I don't advise you to destroy your Vagrant though. When you destroy your Vagrant, you see all those files that you've created, the allschool.txt that I just created, all the users I just created, all the modifications I just do, all the permission I just set, they are gone because I've now destroyed my Vagrant. So there are better ways to do it, but I don't want to waste our time. I changed the SSH key is why I'm now having trouble logging in. But if I destroy, I'm able to destroy, or we are able to destroy now because we don't have any important data there yet. Once you start working for a company, Vagrant destroy is something you should stay away from. Once you destroy, just don't show up to work the next day because you are in trouble. So let's just wait for this to complete and we'll continue. But I hope you understand the SSH thing now. It's not something that is really let's see. Okay, finally it's here. So I can do Vagrant SSH. Oh, I'm back in. So if I do ls, the allschool.txt and the what's the other file, index.jx that I had, no longer there. If I do ls minus al, see, I have a new .ssh file. So if you see my time here, you can see my time says 1:18. See, it just created this .ssh file. Do you understand? So that is that for that. But don't ever do Vagrant destroy unless you want to put yourself in trouble. So that being said, any other question from anyone before we proceed? Anyone, any question, feel free to ask. No question. So I want to teach us something today. Please, if you can unmute your mic, I want us to have a discussion, if you don't mind. We've been seeing, please guys, unmute your mic. We've been seeing them use a grep command when trying to teach us some things. Like I've seen it like 4 or 5 times now. Yeah, I understand. If your place is noisy, that's understandable. But if you can unmute your mic, let's have a discussion. We've been seeing them use grep command. This command grep? Do we know what it means? When we see it, do we even know what it means?
From what I got through the elements, I think you can use it when you want to like find specific words.
Good, good. Do you know how to use it? Say, mm, can you have you tried to use it yourself, like to see if you are able to use it?
No, I actually have it.
Okay, so I'm going to teach us what we call pipeline today. Now, this is not CI/CD pipeline, no, like that's beyond my knowledge for now. But pipeline is just saying, uh, what can I use as a typical example? Okay, imagine you want to send your younger brother or your child on errand, and you tell him, take 1,000 naira, go to Oshodi or go to Lagos, buy pepper 200. On your way back, stop at my mom's shop, give her 200. When you finish that, go back to Anambra, do so thing. That is what pipeline is for. Pipeline is used to specify what command to run after a particular command. So instead of, so pipeline is also similar is not the same thing. No. This command, this ampersand. This ampersand also means that when you run this command, run this next. Pipeline mean when you do this too, then do this, then do this. I'll show us an example. So I'm going to create a file. I'm going to create a file. Let me go to, because I need ChatGPT to do something for me. List 100. It wants me to log in. I've used it so much today. It wants me to log in now, but I won't. I'm just going to use an incognito window. ChatGPT. Yeah, I'm going to tell ChatGPT to list 200 football teams. I hope we all watch football. I'm a football lover. If you would prefer I use another example, please feel free. So I'm back to my terminal. Let me prepare a file called touch. Let's say football teams. Football teams.txt. I'm going to open the file. So inside, I'm going to come and paste let me paste this first 15. Yeah, that has been pasted. Did you paste everything there? Yeah, let me paste. This one is even listing countries. I want only clubs. Let me paste this. This one is listing national team. You know what? Let me just use everything like that. You know what? Let me just tell it only football teams. Don't specify region. So let me tell it to list only football teams without specifying. I think that's better. Let me exit this. No. Nano back into it. I use double N. Why is my N season all of a sudden? Alright. It has listed 200 football teams. I think this is a better result without grouping them into region. So I just want to show us something. Let me paste it here. I want to remove this down part. I'm going to copy everything and paste them here. So we have 200 buttons. I'm going to show us something. So I'm going to save. Yes. So if I do cat, get ready for my whole screen to be filled with football teams now. Football teams.txt. You can see we have all the teams. Now I'm going to show us the importance of pipelines. Clear. So now, let's say I want to guys, please give me a minute. I need to
No problem.
I need to use the toilet just to use myself. Sorry about that. I'm back now. So now, when I do cat football team, can we all hear me?
Yes, go on.
Okay, when I do cat football team.txt, it lists all the clubs. So imagine instead of these 200, we have like 1,000,000 items inside this, and we are looking for somewhere. I know Borussia Dortmund is inside here, and we have 1,000,000 football teams. I know there is no, maybe we don't have up to 1,000,000 football teams in the world, but I'm just using that like as an hypothetical situation. Are we going to really start scrolling through everything and be looking for Borussia Dortmund? That is where pipeline comes in. We can say, instead of doing cat football team and just mess up our whole terminal, we can say cat football team and pass this, I don't know if I should call it a stick, but it's called pipeline. Can we all see this one?
Yeah.
This means that this is just saying when you are done with that, or better said, this is just saying before you display the answer, hold on, do this too. So whatever I specify here, it will also do that before it gives me the answer I'm looking for. So I'll show us. Let's say I say cat football team. Now I've looked at that list. Let me close this. And I promise you, I don't know if Dortmund is there, but I know Dortmund should be there. Right? You now say grep what do you want to grep? Let's say I don't know, you should I think he wrote everything in sentence case, so let's say Leverkusen. No, I don't want to use Leverkusen. Let's say United. A lot of clubs will have the name United. We want it to grep United. I don't know if this should be quoted or not, but we'll find out. Then, okay, let me run this command first. You can see it is showing me every team that has United in them. That means if I'm looking for United, it is showing me which line they are and which clubs carry the name United. That is the first use case of this pipeline. Let me also show us something. What if we say cats football teams.txt? I will now ask it to sort for us in alphabetical order. Say sort, and we put this WC minus L command. To give me a minute, let me confirm something. I thought it was 200. Yeah. Let me do that again. Cat buttons.txt. Oh, it's counting the number of lines. Okay. Cat football teams minus txt. Use the pipeline. You ask it to sort, and then you ask it to. You know what I'm going to do? There is a way I want to do this so that we can understand better. There's a way I want to do this. There's a way I want to do this. There's a way I want to do this. I don't want it to have these numbers. I want to show you the power of I wanted to remove the numbering. Yeah. I hope we are all familiar with football teams. It might look like I mean, I can use something else, but if you guys want me to use something different, I can. But almost everybody watches football these days, so I'm going to replace. Unfortunately, I have to open it. Oh, no wonder. I even copied this one with it. The problem is this one will not. What's the command to delete line by line? Hold on, it should be somewhere here. Cut text, Control K. Yep. Yep. So I'm going to paste that again. Jesus Christ. It's not pasting what I expected it to. Let me do that again. Did you not copy this? Okay, it's copied now. Alright, we have all our 200 things here. So we are just going to pretend as if we don't know the number of teams that I've just generated. So I'm going to delete here. I'm going to delete. Yeah, I'm going to delete this empty line. And I'm going to say Control X. Yes. So let me clear now. So if I say cat football teams and I ask it to sort for me, when it's done sorting, it should count the number of lines that are there. Now, if you look at my screen, this is one line. This is line 2. This is another line. This is another line. So it's going to count all the lines. The other time it generated 202, it was because I had space under, and I had this thing that ChatGPT usually say when you this one, it counted it as a line. So now I'm going to say WC is what counts. So you say you should count the lines for you. Can you see it says that particular file has 200 lines. So imagine you are working with a file. You want to know how many lines are in that file. Obviously, you don't want to open the file and start counting 1, 2, 3 yourself. especially if the file is not numbered. The earlier text I pasted inside football team was numbered 1, 2, 3, so in that case it's easy to see. But what if it's not numbered? There's like 5 million items inside the file and you don't know. Obviously you won't count 1 to 5 million. You can use cat football team, pass that pipeline. That means display football team, but hold on, before you display it, sort it for me. When you are done sorting it, count the number of lines and it will tell you the number of lines. We can also do something else. We can tell it to sort. There is a unique command you can pass. Let's try unique. What unique does is it look for teams that have the same name. Let me show you. Cat football team. You pass the pipeline. You ask it to sort. Now unique does not work without you passing sort command first. So you say unique.
Recording has stopped.
I think it's unique minus. Is it minus how? You know what? I'll just leave it at unique. And what else do I want it to do? I want it to. I don't want to pass that word count yet. Okay, I want it to sort again for me. No. I want it to sort. Yeah. Let me pass the word count now. Still says 200. No, that's not what I want. Cat football team.txt. So here I'm going to say sort -n. So sort -n means sort by number. Obviously we can't sort by number if it is not numbered. If it is numbered, let me explain to you. So let's say when I pasted all these football teams inside a file, I scattered the numbers. I'll show you what I mean. Give them random numbers.
Sorry, Jay, the recording has stopped.
No, I don't think it's mine. Mine is recording.
Oh, okay.
I think someone else was recording. Do you understand? Someone else was recording.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what I want. So what I'm trying to show you is the power of this sort. So when you have a file and it is scattered, let's say your boss gives you a file to go and rearrange. So all the file has different items inside, but let's say they are numbered. You can see here Ajax is 154, Roma is 29. You don't want to start going one after the other looking for the next number. You can actually ask this sort to do it for you. Hopefully this is done. Yes, this is done. I'm going to open this nano football.txt. So I'm going to delete everything once again. And I'm going to paste what it generated. Okay, so I'll just delete this. This will get more interesting now. So let me go to the top to remove what is at the top. Okay, just going to delete this. Okay. Yep, and I'm going to save. Yes, good. So this is what I mean now. Cat football.txt. After it's done cutting, I want it to sort for me, but this time I want it to sort with their with their numbers. And let me see. Now, okay, so what it is doing here is, it is, if you look, it is sorting by the letter. You can see they follow each other: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. For some reason, this number is not working. Probably because it's not attached to the file's name. But you can see it's sorting alphabetically for you. If you want it to sort from bottom to top, you do this. Cats, football teams. Then you pass this pipeline, sort, and you pass this flag. The R stands for reverse. So you can see now it will start from, you can see the last thing here is A, and if you look at it like that, so you can also say cat football teams. You pass that pipeline and you tell it to only list the head, only 10 teams from the top. See, to only list 10 teams from the top. You can also do the same thing from the bottom. Tell it to only list 10 teams from the bottom. Let me do that again. Cat. Set option used is invalid. Context -1. Let me try that again. Cat football team. That's supposed to work. Let me say tail. Okay, so it will also list the 10 teams at the tail. Let me also show you one more thing and we'll move on to something else. Football team. In this case now, I want to pass sort -n and unique. What other command can I pass? Okay, this, I'm coming. Obviously this is not 200. So what it does here is you see all those teams that have similar names, like the United. It will take it out. It will take it out and only display files that have unique names. But there is a way to show you files. To be honest, I'm forgetting this thing. Cat, let's do sort and unique. There is a command that is after this unique. I think it's -r. No. Should be -c then. Okay. So if you have a file called football.txt, football.teams.txt, if you want to pick out teams called United, I think I showed this earlier, you can use the grep United. And after that, you also want it to do what? You want it to count how many lines, how many teams are in the file with this name. You want it to count the lines. So it's going to tell you no. That means in this particular one, there is no team called United. That's surprising. It means in this file, there is no team called United. Let me see. Let me do cat football team. And I'll just grep United again. Let me see. United. Oh. See, there is no team called United in the file. That is why I can't show you. But if I do something like cat football team, and I want it to grep means pick this item for me. So let me grep a team. You know what? Let me try that United again. I'll tell you why it came back with an error. I just found out. Because the United in the file starts with a capital U, not a small letter. That's why it tells us. And that is why they usually recommend you use small letters when you are typing. So I'm going to do, see, it says in this file, there are two teams that have the name United. This is how to use your pipeline. I can also tell it to cat football team grep United United, but I want it to push I want it to echo the results inside another file. Let's say teams.txt. I hope I got this correct. Let's see. Okay, it came back without an error and it didn't give us any answer because it has sent the results to a file called teams.txt. So if you cut teams.txt, it has nothing inside. It's supposed to have 2 inside, because the use case of this is to give you this answer in a new file. So let me check that again. It has nothing inside, surprisingly. The purpose of pipeline anyways is to use it to hold on and pass other commands. So the commands that you can pass is sort, and you can pass a flag -nr, which would sort the results for you in a reversed order. So if you have a list and you want it to sort from bottom to top, it does that. So -n sorts it alphabetically, I want to believe. It's supposed to sort by, you know what, let me try something. There is one that sorts by number and I can't really figure it out. Let me try sort without passing any command. Let me do this. It's supposed to sort by number, probably because the number is not attached to the file name, but it's supposed to sort by number. So that is what pipelines are anyways. It's just, so when you see your instructor explaining the video on the terminal and it's like, oh, so in this file you want to grep, okay, you know what, I'll show us how we can grep something now. Let's do df -h. Yeah, let's do, come on, ps aux, for example. See all these files now. I want to grep this. Obviously, to grep 2 things that have this name, I can just do, without making my terminal look rough, I can do ps aux. Pass this pipeline now. Then I say grep this. See, can you see it's not displaying the full process? It's only displaying files that have this name that I've specified. Do we understand? It's only displaying. So why it is useful is because, trust me, when you become cloud engineers and you are working for big companies, the items in your file can be like 5 million, and you don't want to cut everything and your whole terminal is like, you have to start scrolling. You can see how I was scrolling through the football teams and how it delayed us and how it took time. You can just pick out a particular item that you are looking for from that list. I can also do, what's that command? What's the command to check our kernel to see the list of processes? See, just escaped my mind now.
Okay.
Do you know it?
Come in, sorry.
The command to check our kernel, or is it kernel or?
Okay. I do not know it.
I would. I think it should be. Oh, it is D. What do they call it? D message or something. I think it's like this. Oh yeah. See, here we go. See, this shows. So from all these things now, let's say we are looking for input -5. Input 5 from all these things. Now, if you want to look for it, look at all the items here. How do you look for input 5 from all these things? You can just come here and do cat dms MESG, I hope I got it. Then pass this pipeline and say grep this for you. I think I don't have to cut it because it's a folder, I think. The message, yeah. Then you tell it to grep input 5. See, there is only one input 5. So how do you find out this only one input 5 from all of this if grep does not exist? You are probably going to spend the whole day. So where other syntax are useful is, let's say I want to show us something now. Let's say let's say we do PS AUX. We have root, vegan, root, vegan. Let's say I now want to do PX AUX grep. I want to grep where it says, let me look for something unique and not so confusing. I want to grep, okay, where it says SS. Most of this, no, let me use SSL. Most of this process have SSL in them. I want to grep SSL, but I want it to list it for me in, this SSL now, it is attached to different processes. For this one now, it is root. Let me make sure it's not just root. Okay, yeah, for this one, it is system log. So I want it to list the results for me in an alphabetical format. In a chronological format. So that's like, it will list the processes alphabet by alphabet, but it will follow each other in ABC format. So you say -n. And if I run this command, it will list everywhere it finds this SSL. But instead of just listing the results anyhow for me, it will arrange it in alphabetical order. Here we go. So these are the results. If you look at from here, you can see R obviously comes before V, which is our vagrant. So it will list it in alphabetical format. No, sorry, it's supposed to start from here. So you can see R comes first. This is, let me make the screen wide so that can go to his own line. This is where we run the command. Here, you can see it listed out the results. R is the first process, followed by P, followed by S. No, this P is not supposed to be there. P is a continuation of this one. So R first, S after, then V as the last in chronological order. If I have a file that has a lot of items inside now, it will be much easier because it will show me the results and we have a lot of alphabets. So that's the purpose of pipeline. You use it to hold a command that hold on before you run this, do this for me. So instead of all these results now, for example, look at all these results. If I don't want it to show up on my terminal, I'll just say PSAUX, this same command I ran here. Now I'll now tell it to echo the results into a file that I've not created. I'm just going to create, called, let's say, fff.txt. So you see, the results came back, but my terminal is clean, and that's the purpose. So if I check this FFF, I'm supposed to see, under normal condition, I'm supposed to see these things here, which are the results. I'm supposed to see it inside this file now. So let me cut fff.txt. Again, I don't know why it is not showing. I don't know why, but that's okay. You know what? Let me try something else. I don't know why it is not showing. It's supposed to. Let me try something. Maybe that will solve it. Let me remove this. See, it's all wrong. I don't know why it's not showing, but that is what the use case is supposed to be for. And we can move on to other things. So what I intended, we have just an hour left, so we'll just use that to do what I think. If anybody have any question, they can ask now. I'm just going to, yeah. So our first semester. So just a touch on all these things that are here. Obviously, we all know, I'm not going to say anything on Linux commands anymore. We all know what Linux, the Linux commands we've used the most. ls, file operation is change ownership and chmod, changing groups, changing what's it called, names of users, renaming groups and stuff like that, changing permission. That's our file operation. Text editor, for our text editor we have nano. See, when I first got introduced to text editor, it was vi I was using, this one. So when you want to create, we have this file fff. Anyway, let me echo something into it. Echo abcd, echo abcd to fff.txt, cat fff. Now so what I was explaining, if you want to see different text editors, I was speaking about different text editors. You can use vi to go into it. Vi is is it virtual interface, or I can't remember what it's called, but vi, you can use it to go into this file instead of using nano. You notice I've been using nano all day. See, it still lists the file for you, but in this case, if you want to close it, you have to do escape. You have to press escape, then q. Now I don't like it, it stresses me out. You press escape, then :q for you to escape. But nano is easy, because if I do nano fff.txt, it opens it, and for you to exit, you do Ctrl X. See, simple. There is another one called vim fff.txt. see, it still opens the file. vi and vim are similar, but they do different jobs. I don't know, but I just found out about nano out old school this session, so I'm happy with, because this one, sometimes I press that escape and it doesn't let me escape. So then if you want to save it, you have to press :wq. You have to learn commands, because I want to use a text editor. When in nano, I can just say, if I open it, see, everything I even need to type is here. If I want to, like when I was cutting out all the items, it said it here that I can press this arrow up means control on my Mac, so it means Control and K. If I press Control and K now, see, it deletes it. Very easy, isn't it? Instead of using vim, but you're happy, be free to use anyone. So let me see. That's for week 1. There's almost nothing in that. Then we've done user and groups many times, and I explained to us in the last session that we had on Monday that you can change. So for those of us, how many of us are here to watch that video?
Which one, please?
The one I recorded and sent to the group on Monday.
Not been absent.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to show us something now. I shouldn't be repeating, I should just say go and check. But because this is a revision class, I'm going to show us something. If I say I want to create a user, come with me as I do this. This is very important. I'm creating a user add, and I want to create a user called chair. That is quite funny, but I want to create a user called chair. I press enter. It says permission denied. I have to use sudo user add chair. See, where do we find our list of users? Do you know where?
It's not /etc/filewd.
Correct. So let's go and check our list of users. See, share is there, Abby. Yeah. But why is it that? Do you know how to check the list of groups?
Slash etc slash group.
Why is it that there is a group called share here again? Do you know why?
You explained it before.
I've explained. Because,
Yeah, I think the last class
oh, you were in the
attended.
last class. How many of
Yes.
us here were in the last class? Latifa, were you in the last class? Latifa, don't drop phone.
I
Oh, okay. Were you in the last class?
I wasn't, but I watched the tutorial.
So you understand how to.
I wasn't, but I watched the recorded video.
So if I ask you to tell me how to do it,
Yes, I
can you do it? How to do it in such a way that our user will not create a new group itself. Can you teach us?
I'm trying to remember. Sorry.
So you just watch the video, you didn't practice it. So this is it. Okay, you know what? Just go and watch the whole video since there is a video on that before. So we don't want, because if you noticed, I don't know how many of us noticed when I opened my list of groups the other time, I had like 10 different groups that I didn't even me don't know where they came from. And I'm sure it must have come from me trying to illustrate this or illustrate that. You just have different kind of groups here that are very unnecessary. So there is a way to set it such that you create your user, it doesn't create a group, and that user gets assigned to a group straight up. So even for the assignments that we just did earlier, you can do it in such a way that you have a group of cloud developers. So John, Mary, and Joseph can be in a group of cloud developers. You won't have a different group. So you know what? John, Mary, and Joseph will have a group called cloud developers. So when you do get ACL and the name of the file, it will show you owner John, but show you group cloud developers and show you each permission for them. If you screenshot that and send to us, they will know that okay, you know what you are doing, and that is not even difficult at all. If you go back to the old video, you can I can just demonstrate for us to see. So let's say I have a group called share. Let me see if I can. Okay, let me create a new group. Group add. Let me create a new group called developers. I'm showing you for the sake of your assignment now. Group sudo. Jesus Christ. Group add. To be honest, I dislike sudo. I don't want to say I hate it. I dislike it. If I'm in my roots now, it's once.
Easy, yeah.
So group add developers, if I go to cat slash etc slash group, you see developers is there. Remember, now that I created a user called chair, he also created a group called chair. But I want to show you how and why it is useful and how it makes your assignments neat. So I want to create a user add called, let's say, Michael. I want to create a user called Michael. Automatically, if I send this command, is to create a user. Mike, I thought it was you that just ran. I want to say, is it because I mentioned your name? So
No.
if you create it like this, it will create a user called Michael, but it will also create a group called Michael, and we don't want that. Now, I'm going to set Michael to a group called developers. So immediately you create a user called Michael, it's add Michael to the group of developers, and Michael will not show as a group the way Chia is showing right now. So you pass the syntax -g or -g is a flag, and you pass the group, I think. You pass the group and you pass the name. Hold on. Yeah. I think this is it. I hope I'm right.
Yeah, group then user.
I don't know if -g should come first. I've forgotten now, to be honest. But let me run this.
It's
without.
It's meant to be user add dash m dash g.
Are you
I think
sure?
it should be user add dash G.
Yeah, then Michael.
Developers, then the name Michael. Yeah. User add.
Let me
dash
see.
G,
Let's see what this
developers,
dot. Let's see what this did. The way all this thing is in my head, if someone just hits me on the head, everything will go away.
You forget.
Cause So okay, maybe this worked. Let's see. There is a way to know if that was the correct syntax. You can do groups and type Michael. It will show you
Then Michael.
all the group Michael it belongs to. So it means the command I passed is correct, which is this: sudo user add the name
Okay.
of the user you are adding, then -g and the group you want to add Michael. So do you see that Michael did not add a new group called Michael? Unlike this chair, when we did user add chair, he created a new group called chair. But here, we did group sudo user add Michael -g. That is add Michael to the group of developers. You might be wondering why you didn't see Michael here. I will show you, don't worry. But at least we've shown evidence here that Michael is in the group of developers.
Yeah.
So this makes your work neat. So when you are creating a user with this syntax now, it will also create a group called chair. Because if I just said user add Michael, it would have created a group called Michael again. So how do you make Michael shown here? I explained in the last video that Michael is not shown here because Michael is just a secondary user. So you have to make Michael a primary user for it to show. So you say sudo Latifa, do you want to help us with the command?
Yes, I remember that. I think that's the sudo user mode, right?
User mode.
Sudo user mode. Then space, then hyphen AG. A is small,
AG like
G
this.
is capital.
Yeah.
A is capital.
Then
Oh, okay. I wanted to know if you.
A is small, G is capital.
Then what else?
Then I think developer, then Michael. Developers, space Michael. Yeah, I think the group first thing. I think.
Are you sure? We'll find out, right? I've just run it. It didn't bring any error. Let's go and see if you were right. Oh, you are right. So you can see Michael is now in the group of developers. So let me show you something. If you now do get, let's quickly do something. Let's say touch index.js. That means we have a file called, let me remove all this FFF, remove football teams, remove teams. So I want to have only index. Let me clear. So now I want to show us something. If you do get FACL, right, and index.js, I made a mistake. Where is the mistake coming from? Where is this coming from? Let's do that again. Get FACL index.js. Why is it saying ASCII is not installed? Am I doing something wrong? Clear. Hold on. ls -a index.js. Let me say. Oh, could it be because we've not or is that command not correct? Get FACL index.js. See how everybody now leaves me to my problem. You people are supposed to help me. Latifa, there should be a reason why this is not working. Or could it be because
that's how we're moving it. I'll get FACL space index.js. I don't know why it was showing that error.
Okay, I know what to do. Probably because I destroyed my vagrant. Apps install. Could not. Okay, sudo apt install. Probably because I destroyed my vagrant. So if I do it now, it will work. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't destroy your vagrant. I'm destroying my vagrant because I know how to set up a new one. But trust me, before I found out how, I spent more than 3 hours there. Because after I was able to set it up, you know ChatGPT now, it will give you wrong answers. It even led me to another problem again. So but I'm going to, once this loads now, I'm going to show us. So what I'm trying to achieve is when you do get FACL and the name of the file index.txt and you've set permission for all of them, it will now come out as file owner John group. What do you think the group will be like that? It will say developer for the name of the group.
Have an additional group named developer.
Yes, so it makes our assignment looks clean. It shows we know what we are doing. So instead of the group saying vagrant, which is like unrelated to what we are trying to do, if the 3 people are in the group of cloud engineers, then you should say developers or cloud engineers or stuff like that. Why is this one taking forever now? I'll give it 30 more seconds. If it doesn't move forward, I'll just... Sounds like it heard me. Okay, let me do get FACL again. Index.txt. Oh, here we go. So at least now all of us can witness if you destroy your vagrant, some things will not work anymore. So now I want to change this group name now to developers. So I'll say sudo change ownership colon. Remember, if you are setting group name, the group name has to stay with the colon. So I'll say developers and the file name index.txt. So if I say get FACL now, index.txt, see, it says file index.txt owner vagrant. We can also change the owner. So we have a user called chair, although that's not like a good example, but I'm just showing you can change the owner saying sudo. So you can change the owner to John using this method I'm using, sudo change owner. Then do you remember the command, Latifa?
Yes, I remember.
So what will come after change ownership?
The owner wants what user are you changing to now?
So I have a user called chair that I just created. All those John,
chair.
Mary, and Joseph.
Okay, so it's going to be chair.
Yeah.
Is the file name index.js.
Beautiful. And if you do get FACL index dot, see, we have it. Owner as chair, group as developers. The file name is this one even looks clean. So far, this chair name is like John or Joseph or Mary. So when you are now setting user now, you can say the owner should have full permission. The owner should have full permission anyway. Because after owner, who else now? Now God, and you can't go to God for permission. So you set owner to have full permission. You set your Joseph to have maybe read and write. You can set what's it called, Mary to have only read or take all Mary permission, and that's it. That's how to make the assignments clean. So quickly, let's move to something else. If you have any question, feel free to ask. The one I'm most interested in now is this one. You see this thing here? It stressed me before I understood. I'm not saying I understand 100%, but I'll just share what I think I know. But if you guys think you understand it, is not necessary, we can skip. This process management, file system, virtual storage. The one I'm more interested in is this application package management. It's quite clumsy, but there is a way I'll break it down. Process management, we all know. See, there is one thing I found out in this cloud engineering so far so good is it's just big grammar. It's nothing. I mean, so far so good though. Tomorrow I can change my word though. But for now, process management is just for you to. So if you're on your, for people that use Windows, I think if you press, I think there is like what's that command? Is it Control Shift F4 or something? No, I can't really remember on Windows. It shows the list of applications that are currently running. That's just what you are doing with your Linux machine and the process command here too. You want to see which apps are currently running. Like if you have your phone now and your phone is dragging, you minimize your phone and start closing all the apps. That's what process management is for. To know which apps are causing the other apps to be slow. Like let me give you an instance. Let me see. In some situations, you could be doing some things on your laptop that will slow down. I'm trying to look for a use case. There are some applications that you'll be running. Okay, for people that have, let me see if it's on, is here. I don't think so. There are some apps that you will run on your computer and that will make your work slow. It just makes the whole computer start dragging. That is what process management is for, or to know which app is blocking which app. When you say PSAUX, it show you everything that is running at the moment, and you can inspect. Oh, this one is not. It's just there. It's just blocking or just using up space, and you can kill it. Do you get? That's what. It's just big grammar. Oh. It's nothing. And this PSAUX shows you everything. Then we have PX-EF. It shows you everything, but in a more detailed format. Sure you get. So you can see what is what. You can see their process ID. You can see the terminal they are running. You can see the time they started. You can see how many times they've spent. That's just process management. Nothing to. So you can kill an application using their process ID. So this is the process ID here. So this is one, which is our roots, obviously. Then let's say we want to kill vagrant. Obviously, we don't want to kill vagrant, but if you want to kill vagrant, you just say Q and you specify this process ID. Once I type it, it's most likely that my terminal will exit me from vagrant because I've just killed it. So, and if you want, okay, let me also mention this. This is very important. So, there are some applications, because the way the Linux terminal is designed, when you are running applications and you want to install something, for example, you can see when I try to install ACL, it was installing and I can't do anything unless it finishes. There is a way to send it to the background. Do you understand? To go and finish it there. So let's say I want to do sudo apt install ACL. I can send it to the background by adding this command, this ampersand. Remember the other time when I ran this command, it was actually on my terminal. Do we remember, Michael? It was on my terminal.
Yeah.
It wasn't letting me do anything and we were waiting for it to get done. But if you put this ampersand, it does the same thing, but it does it behind. Oh, you said upgraded already. What else can I do? Okay, but that's the use case. If I think of any other app I can do, I would. But so far, you specify this ampersand, it sends it to the background. I think you can also say. I'm not sure. I just want to try. I think you can also say BG background. Unable to locate package. No. I read something about background and foreground today, but that's that about it. Then we have now this is the interesting part. Okay, we have the virtual storage. So you see this one, I have a flash that I wanted to use to demonstrate to us, but that flash is not working for reasons best known to the flash alone. So you see, file system, virtual storage, and mountain storage, again, is just big English, to be honest. File system means that where or how our file system is structured. If you do, I think it's DL minus F. I hope I'm right. No, it's not. What's the command again? To is it DF minus L? Let me try DF minus L. Oh, here we go. Sometimes it's not easy cramming all these commands, so you have to keep trying. So you can see now, it says, let me make it big. It says file system. It says files. Oh, I understand now. So ordinarily, when you do DF, it shows the same thing. But you see, you can say it says 1K blocks. But when you specify minus H, this minus H means make it human readable. H means humanize it, make it readable. See, when I put this minus H flag, you can see it changed this 1HK block to size so that I can understand displays in main size. So this is our file system. And from what they told us, most of, in fact, almost everything on our computer is located in this DEV. I don't know if I should call it directory or in this file system. Most app, what's it called? Let me try something to make sure I'm saying the right thing. Slash d slash ren, no, cd slash dev slash sda1. Am I doing something wrong? Not a directory. df-h. But we can cd into Vagrant, I think. But this is just to know, in short here, this is just to know how our file system are structured. This SDA stands for standard disk. So if you have multiple standard disk, let's say you have 2 standard disk list to your laptop, you see SDA1 and SDA and SDB. If you have 3 file system, 3 hard disk, you know we can actually link an external hard disk. I have one here, but I don't have a plug to put it. So I've been trying since morning to just do that so I can show us. So it will list it SDA, SDB, SDC, SD till depending on the number of hard disk we have connected to our laptop. So if inside our hard disk, if we partitioned it into 2 places, most times laptop MacBook hard disk are partitioned. So you can see SDA1 and SDA2 just like that. And I think if you want to see the list of devices that are connected to your laptop, you use the lsblock command. So lsblock means that anything that is like physical device that is connected to your laptop, you want to see it. So if I do lsblk, it shows, see there is one SDB here, which I believe I've tried to look for this SDB all day. I couldn't find it. At first I thought it was my flash, but the most reasonable explanation that I have for it is maybe my hard disk was partitioned into 2. But you know, this is where you see lsblk is where you see all the files that are all the devices that are mounted. So if you plug in a flash inside your laptop, you should be able to see it in this list just after SDB. Yeah. So and if you go, you can see it into your Vagrant slash Vagrant. See, I'm doing something wrong because the instructors see he went into this Vagrant, and I don't know why mine is not going in now.
I think it's the spelling of the Vagrant.
Okay. Yeah, double N. I see now. Oh, yeah, we are here. So let me try the other one I tried before. Slash div. Oh, it went in now. And I tried it earlier. My keys are sometimes. Let me see if I have. Do I have? So he also explained that most of the processes that are being run are located here. So when you kill a process, all the attributes or all the files that are running with it, they die. For example, if you decide to kill this block now, for example, it kills everything that has to do with the block. So it's still something I'm trying to gain more knowledge on anyway. But the one I am sure that I'm very sure that I have clear understanding on is this application package management. And why I have clear understanding about it is, so you see, Ubuntu was built on Debian. Debian is like the grandfather, the first Linux distribution. God bless you. Ubuntu 2 is a Linux distribution, but it's like a child to the Debian. It was built on it like a newer version of it. So we can assume. So whenever we want to, the difference between this file package management, The package itself is the application we are trying to install. So um, you can install applications from your Vagrant, but know that applications that you install from your Vagrant have to be applications. We are going to install an application when I'm done with this explanation. Have to be applications that do not require graphical user interface. Like if you install VLC now, how are you going to run VLC from your Vagrant? Are you going to be watching Jet Li movie from your Vagrant? No. So it will install, but it is useless because you can't use it from your Vagrant. Meanwhile, you can come out of your Vagrant and use Homebrew to install an app and it will install. I tried it today and it worked. So the kind of apps that we can install is our package. So application package is our app itself. So if you want to I installed an app today called Tree. That app will show you where you are and how a file is structured. We'll install it in just a moment. Then this package index is just like, imagine for those of us that have iPhones or for those of us that have Google Androids, package index is like your app store or your Google Play Store. Do you understand? So it's like where all the files, all the applications are. So it is always recommended that before you run an application, you do an update for your package index so that if there is a new application, it updates the memory. So when you search for it, you can find it. So our application index is just like a database of applications. Database of applications. So our Ubuntu can only run um, .deb applications because they are compatible with Ubuntu. Remember, Ubuntu was built on Debian itself. So our application can run, I think it can run Debian. There is one more. There are two. I think. Okay. Well, they can only run DEB applications for now. So that means your Android can only run. Obviously, you can't find. There are some applications that you try to look for in your app store. You can't find it. They'll tell you it's only available on Google Play Store. Yeah, that's because that particular file package is not compatible with your OS. Yes. So if you want to install an app now, it has to be compatible with your Ubuntu. It has to be a .deb package. So there is now what we call a package manager. A package manager is your errand boy. So I'm going to give us an illustration. Imagine you go to a library. The books in the library are the package. All those books in the library are the package. Your application index or package index, sorry, is the list of all the books in the library. So imagine you don't want to go through all the list one by one. You want to send the librarian, which is the apt, the APT. The APT is your messenger. You can send APT, the librarian, to go and bring a package for you, which is the book. Do you understand? So I'm going to show us. It sounds like jargons, I know, but I'm going to show us. So I'm going to show us. So I'm going to CD back to. So all of us, I want us to install a file called tree. So before we do that, we do. I don't know if you have to use sudo, but I'm sure it will tell us. Is it apt update? No. Yeah, I have to use sudo. Sudo apt update. No. Yeah. I see that. Don't mind me. My keys are just misbehaving. See. So if you have your laptop in front of you, update your package index. So this apt now is updating its memory to, if there is a new version. Sometimes it's not just to tell us if a new app is available. If there is a new version, can you see, say 17 packages can be upgraded. So some of the apps I already have on my Linux can be upgraded. So that's what you use apt for. Then you now go ahead, let's install an app called tree. So you say sudo apt install tree. It has installed tree. How do we know if tree is working? Can anyone tell us? This is how you know. Remember, I have this file here called index.js. If I do tree index.js, this is what it does. Did I make a mistake? Error. Tree is not a direction now. What's wrong with you? Let me check something. Okay. I know what to do. Okay. So let me do tree again. Can you see? It shows us a file system, how it is structured. That means from our root, which is this dot, we have our Ubuntu. And outside our Ubuntu, we have our Vagrant. And our index.jx is inside our Vagrant. So your tree, you can see it says 2 directories, 1 file. Your tree is meant to help you show your file structure. I don't know if we understand how, who the parent of the file is, who the grandparent of the file is, who the great grandparent of the file is, just like that. You can also do this PSAUX and see the file structure. Let me go back to my PSAUX. I can say I want to see, I can say tree PSAUX. No, that won't work. Or maybe it's supposed to. No, that won't work either. Hold on. Okay, you can only use trees on directories. I understand why it is not opening now. So let me do this. Let me create a new directory called make mkdir. Let me give it the name Rambo. Yeah, and I'll seed it into Rambo. And inside Rambo, I'm going to create a file called file.txt. I'm going to no, I shouldn't. Let me remove that. I'm going to create another directory called umbrella umbrella. Then inside umbrella, I'm going to see the inside umbrella. I'm going to create a file called dada.txt. So if you type tree, no, there is a way to show it to me properly. If I type tree and I type Rambo, no, this is not working as it's supposed to. Okay, I think I'm outside now. But if I type tree again here, you can see now. So I'm outside all the directories. If I type tree, it shows me where I am currently. Sorry, I made an error earlier. I said this dot is our root. No, dot is where you are currently. So where I am currently, there is index.txt. If I do ls, you see that there is index.txt here. And it said, oh, where you are, which is this dot. This dot, can we see it? Yeah. So where you are, there is index.txt. Then where you are, there is Rambo. And inside Rambo, there is umbrella. Inside umbrella, there is dada. So sometimes if you are looking for a file and you don't know where it is, when you do this, let us also do another directory to make it a bit more interesting. Make directory called Jetly. I'm sorry, that's what comes to my head. So I want to see the inside Jetly. And I'm going to make a file called car.txt. I'm just saying whatever comes to my head now. So if I see the back, yeah, and I do 3 again. See, it says where you are currently there is a file called index.txt, and there is also a jetly directory, and inside jetly directory there is car.txt. Inside where you are currently there is rambo. Inside rambo there is another directory called umbrella, and inside, so without you even trying to look for the file or where it is, you can already see where it is, and this helps you go to the right place. I don't know if that makes sense. So personally, me, I asked ChatGPT this morning that do I need to know all this dpkg. I mean, it is important that you know, but on very rare occasion you would find out that the app you are trying to install is not on your packaging index. I think that dpkg you have to now get the link and install it manually and do all the configuration, but most times you file your app on the packaging index for your linux. So just keep it in mind that if you want to install, just sudo update first, sudo apt update. Is that what I did earlier? Update, and it updates for you. Then when it's done update, you can look for any file. You know what, any app. Let's try and install. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to give me a simple file. Why do I keep saying file? A simple app I can install on my linux with apt. And so ChatGPT says he wants us to install htop, but htop already comes with, I think it already comes with this linux. If you do htop now, see, it already comes with it. Meanwhile, you can install it. It's something you can install for people that it didn't come with their. Now I have to click on F10. Where have I gotten myself into now? Fn keys, F10. Okay. So let me ask you to suggest something else. It says, what does this do? I'm not sure I want this. Another one. I'm looking for an app that can be useful. Oh, it says you can install an app called BAT. What does it do? Oh, this is nice. Displays file context with syntax highlights. Oh, this is nice. I'm sure you guys will like this. So we can install an app called BAT. So we can do sudo apt update, and when it's done updating, we do sudo apt install BAT. You are not installing like the bed, you are installing an app called BAT. It's asking if I want it to take this space. I say yes, and it installs. Now I'll show you the use case of this BAT. I'm not really sure my laptop is the best to show it because I already have my laptop showing different colors, but we'll see. So he said you can say I think I have index.jx here. Okay, I can say BAT. So this BAT that we just installed, the command name, how do I explain this? Each app that you install has its own command to run it. Do you understand? If you install an app now, you have to know the correct command to tell that app to do what to do. It doesn't understand the normal CLI command. So for this app called BAT to run my index.jx, I have to say batcat because that is how it is specified on Debian and Ubuntu Linux systems. I'll say batcat index.js. Can you see what it did? Are we there, or is it just me?
We can hear
You are not saying anything. So can we see what it did? See the way
you. Yes.
I'm going to do something. I'm going to echo. I'm going to echo or let me do this. Nano index.js. And inside I'm going to write jargons. I'm going to write a bunch of jargons. Write a bunch of jargons. Write a bunch of jargons. And I'm going to save. I'm going to Control X. Yes. Error writing index.js. Permission denied. Probably because of all these things I put. Let me write it properly. It won't let me write them. So I'm going to write jargons too, but without the dot and dot. So I'm going to save now. Why is it not letting me write? Command X. No, let me create a new file called man power or powder.txt. I'll say nano powder.txt, and inside let's copy something and put inside. This is a file, I think, and there's y. Okay, let me rename powder txt powder.js. Oh my god. Yep. When I do ls, it shows me. Let me do one more. Okay, let me move index.js to getly. Can I move? Permission denied. Do I need studio to move again? Wow. Move index.js to gently. So I need sudo to move now. My microphone is making noise. Are you sure? Are you sure that's me? Guys, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. So if I now do something like batcat index.js, it says no such. Oh, give me a minute. I have to cd into gently now and do batcat index.js. It still shows empty, but the app this is what it does. It displays your JS file. Let me see if it works for .txt file. I mean, it's worth finding out. Let's do batcat car. I doubt it, but let's see car.txt. Oh, it works for any kind of file then. So it displays your file in just like a beautiful way, nothing specific. But I'm just showing us how to install apps. So there are apps that we need in the course of this course that you need to install. Just take your mind off any other thing. Know what you want to use is. What's the first thing we'll do again? We'll update. Sudo apt update. It will update. Then run the command sudo apt install and the name of the app. Once you do it, it installs on your Vagrant. You can also install. Let me show you guys one cool trick. I've logged out. I'm going to log out totally and open my. Let me show you one cool trick. A very cool trick. Just consider it a bonus. So let's say you want to install an app. You see all these ones that will first go to the website, then wait for click on link, then wait for the website to download. You don't need to do that. You can just do that with Brew. Brew is something you can install on your command on your terminal. On your terminal, you can. I think you install with Brew. So I installed Inkscape today. Uh, if you want, you can go Google Homebrew and it will show you how to install. But if I want to install, let's say, I have VLC on my computer already. What can I install now? An app that when I go and check the list of apps on my laptop, I will actually see it there. Let me. What app do I need? Let me. I hope this one won't take too much space. Brew install FL Studio. FL Studio is an app that producers use to produce music. You say no available formula with it. So in Brew memory in the database there is no FL Studio, but you say there is F Audio. So let's do F Audio. I don't know what that is, but let's do Brew install F Audio. So it has F Audio in its database. It's going to install F Audio, and when it's done, we can actually see the app installed. So I don't need to go to the website, go and search for the app. Then it says already downloaded. Okay, let's see from my list of apps. I don't know where is it. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to my applications and actually delete the one I installed today and reinstall it if that's what it wants. So I've deleted it. It's still there. Oh, it just left. Okay, so I can do Brew install Inkscape. The name of the app is Inkscape. So when I install it, it will install on my laptop direct without me having to go to the website to go and download Inkscape manually. It's the same way you can install on your Vagrant, but just that you said the latest version is already installed. I think why this is happening is because what's that command? I'm sure it's not uninstalled. Well, let's see. This thing just decides to want to stress me today for no reason. Oh, it's Inkscape. Inkscape. Oh, he's removing it now. Okay. So if I now go back to say Brew install Inkscape, I think that should work. It didn't work because the files relating to it are yet to leave the computer. Let's do Brew install Inkscape now. Should install. Meanwhile, before you install, see the app is not here. You don't have it here. But once it's done installing now, you can see it's installing. So it's already downloaded. Now you can sabi. Okay, it's installing. It's still installing. Once it's done installing, we'll see it there, but let's see. But while it is doing that, I mean, we have just 10 more minutes. I hope I've been able to help in the most little way possible, and we can all do our assignments now. If you guys have questions to ask regarding any topic again, some people are here to set up their Vagrant, or you'll be surprised. So if anyone have any question with Vagrant especially, you can ask, because I feel like this is like the foundation for us. Once the foundation don't bend, it go hard. Because even this foundation like this, it dey shake. I know wetin my eyes see. The foundation is shaky. Everybody's leg is shaky. So, and it's just the way it is. Week one, when all school started, when you join live classes, you will see that even if you write comments, you'll be able to read your own comments because there are just too much people. The same live class, if you join it now, even our own group, if you type something, you can go and come back in the evening, and what you type is still the last thing on that group. People know, everybody don't. I know at least one or two persons that I was friends with when we started this course, and they've dropped out. So the purpose of this is not to show brilliancy or to show who no book pass, but it's like a sign of hope to someone that okay, you have someone that can help you out now. So if you reach out to me 10 times a day, if I'm free 10 times a day, I will try and put you through. Meanwhile, these things too, it's not as if I know it before, but I can say I have very little experience with Linux because this is like my fourth time or third time at art school. Me too, I've been dropping off, I've been running away, and it's front end I've been trying to do. I no understand. I was in.
You run.
I ran. No, this is my. Is it third? This is my third time at old school, and every time I paid full money, like full tuition, because I'm someone that if something is given to me for free, I will appreciate it. If I'm you now and someone is hosting this class, I trust myself I won't be there. But if I have to pay, I will now want to be
You
there.
did it.
You get. So anytime I join on
Yeah.
school, I try to pay full payment so that it will at least drag me and make me there. But my dear brother, JavaScript is not anybody's mate. In fact, this is the first time I will enter second semester. CSS gave me
Mm.
issues. Oh God. The instructor that took us CSS, I complained to the extent that that bros was not responding to me anymore. I still have our WhatsApp chat. He no long, even if I greet him good morning now, he doesn't answer me. he,
Mm.
he's tired of my, you know. So let's go and check. The app is installed now. You can see Inkscape is here, is now installed just by doing it from our terminal without having to go to the website. So same thing with if you are in your Vagrant. So Vagrant, when you are there, you can install apps that are beneficial to graphical. This is what they call graphical user interface. Anywhere you can be able to see color and see all the apps in their colors. That's graphical user interface. Because this now, even to a baby that is able to read, can say, "Oh, daddy, see VLC or uncle see," you know. But if you
Yeah.
show the baby this terminal now, you just be staring like, "What's this?" Uh-huh. So apps that you can install graphical user interfaces app on the Vagrant too, but it's useless to you because you can't use it from there. So apps that you can use, we just installed ACL, and we show you what we displayed what ACL lets you do. We installed ACL earlier. ACL is the one we were using to set each user's permission.
Yeah.
Were we all there when we installed ACL?
Yeah. I was there.
ACL is an example of apps. So you see that when I destroyed my Vagrant and I tried to use ACL, it didn't work. So I went ahead to install ACL with apps install ACL, and now I'm able to use ACL and set permission for each user. So without ACL, it's not useful, and that is why installing apps is useful. I also installed Tree. Tree helps us see the branch and file structure or directory structure of wherever we. So if I do Tree here now, okay, I'm outside my Vagrant. That's why you can't use it on your normal terminal. It only works inside the Vagrant. That's because I didn't do Vagrant up. So do Vagrant up, and Vagrant is required. Oh, I know why this is not working. So I'm not, it has taken me back to my default. So CD installation. Where my files are, they are very, very deep. And it's now stress for me. I thought I was being smart. What?
I said you just the CD. You go just the CD they go.
I did tell you. If people see me, they do CD now, they will think I'm doing something important.
Mm.
So with Vagrant up and Vagrant SSH, and you can be able to use your ACL or any app you've installed or Tree or whatever. So I vagrant SSH. I kind of feel like if we are able to understand this foundation, the rest would come easy. Because I looked into EC2 and I promise you, see, as far as I'm concerned, though, it's nothing to be scared
Yeah.
of. Even the instructor said it in the last video that I watched. That even some things, I mean, the instructor on our LMS, he said some things
Yeah.
you just hear big name, but you see that it's nothing. To be honest, EC2 is just a server. See, before now, I used to be scared that will I be able to, because my Twitter account now, if I open it, I see everything about cloud, and different people are saying different things, scary things. That if you want to learn, this is the path to follow. If you want to learn, this is the path to follow. Another one will say, I wish, people that will say, I wish I knew this when I was learning to become a. So
Yeah.
everything just scares me and be like, okay, how many tools am I going to use? But I promise you, if you look back a month ago now, you don't know what ACL is, you don't know what Linux is. I mean, you might know what Linux is, but you don't know what the
Like,
flags to pass are. You don't know what change ownership is. You don't know what user add, group delete, how to make a user a primary, how to make a user a primary user in a group, how to make them
yeah.
secondary, how to. You don't know these things, but it might feel like you've learnt nothing. But I promise you, show someone else that is just about to start and they will tell you, I don't think I can know all these ones. What is all these jargons? Sometimes when I take 3 steps back from my laptop and I look at all this command interface, it looks like jargons. When you take 3 steps back away from your laptop, it looks like jargons. But because you are now getting familiar, you now
Yeah.
understand that all these things is nothing. So someone else that sees you in public that open this thing now, they'll be like, Koda. Senior man, you can even use
Yeah.
this one, God, to just, you know, collect status wherever you go to. Just be like, I want to work. You just do vagrant top, all the yama yama that will display. You say, I'm busy. They won't know you are not doing anything. So what am I trying to say is, it is useful if we try to study on by ourselves. I promise you, so far I'm in this cohort, oh, so far I'm still here. Pray even me, because sometimes even the strongest can run. Pray even me, I don't run away. But if I'm still here, I'm going to try and carry as much people as I can, to be honest. Because why I'm doing this, I'm sure
Where are you running to?
Temi
Yeah,
has
where are you running?
Temi has had this before, but why I'm doing this is because
You are not going anywhere this time around.
I
We are
pray
doing this
I pray
together. I
so.
beg. For somebody like you,
The reason why I am personally doing this is previous times when I left old school is not necessarily because I was busy. I was free as hell, like I was very free. But when I have simple questions, I don't have anybody to ask. You have to send an email to the instructor when you just need, please show me this thing. Something that they just need 2 seconds to tell you, oh, type this. You now send an email. Before instructor respond, maybe like 6 days after. What's the use case anymore? Do you understand? So if I had support, all the support I needed, I'm not saying they are not doing well. They are doing well. Oh, they provided the material. I mean, I can go on ChatGPT and find, but ChatGPT, nah, I can't begin to tell it, give it some unquantifiable names on this recording. It will set you on the wrong path entirely. But if you know what you are doing and you say, are you sure this is you say, I'm sorry, this wasn't what you were supposed to do. So you can't always follow ChatGPT, but if you are smart about it, it can help you. Sure, you get. Sometimes in this session now, I had to go to ChatGPT that this get ACL, this is the syntax. Is this the correct syntax? It will not tell you, oh, this is the correct syntax, but you forgot to add this dot or this, it's as simple as that. So for month one, cloud engineers, congratulations. See you guys in the next month, and that is all from me to you guys. If you have any
Thank you
questions, you
so
can
much.
come into my room at
Thank
any time.
you.
You are welcome. You are welcome. I'm happy to do it because it helps me
Thank
learn.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
It's just that you
Thank
guys
you.
refuse to interact with me. All of you mute your mic.
Hello.
You guys refuse to interact with me, but I'm sure it's just because you are new to it. Even me, I'm new. So next time we are hosting, so what I want to do now is I'm going to try to find a way we can set up. You see, Digital Ocean and EC2, they do almost the same thing. They host, um, there are servers that can host for us. But just that I read that there was a time, I think last year, Digital Ocean was giving out free credit. So when you create your account like that, you don't need to add your card. It just allows you to use that credit to start up, to spin a server. But now the offer has ended. But Amazon is currently doing it. They are giving out 200 for every new account you create. So it means that we can actually create an Amazon. Actually, the time has gone. So maybe next time if you host another class, or I can make a video separately maybe tomorrow and share with us. We need to create that Amazon EC2 server so that we can actually now log into that server from our Linux. Don't worry, it's nothing difficult. If you follow the instructor's uh, instruction, the only thing you need to do once the thing has given you an IP address, two things you need to do before it gives you an IP address: you go to your .ssh folder and copy the public key, give it to that server. It will spin up and give you an IP address. Then you come back to your Linux machine and type SSH space root at that IP address. Once you log it, you are in it. It's as simple as that. But I'm going to try and find a way, see if, because when I created the account, the EC2 account, they did give me $200, but they still wanted me to add my card. Although I've not started seeing charges yet, so I'm going to wait a few more days to see how it works. So, but I mean, that's everything. If you have any question, please, I just gonna beg you, always reach out to me. I might not even know it, but we'll do it together. So you get. So
All right. Thank you so much.
thank you
Please,
guys.
Jay, when are you sending?
Thank you very much.
What am I sending? What?
When are you uploading the link for the recording of the classes?
I can do that immediately after I end this session. You should be ready in like an hour because the thing is like almost 20 gig. But I'm going to host it on Google Drive, so you guys will just click link and watch. So it won't come to
Okay.
you.
So what about the for the previous classes?
It's in the group. So for the previous classes, what happened is this. I thought I was recording. You can see someone called my attention to the fact that I've stopped recording. So that
That
day,
was me.
I thought it was me who was recording, but it was someone else. Okay, the person can't record. Oh yeah, share the recording to the group. I've asked whoever it was on the group to please share. They refused. So we lost that recording. So on
So
Monday,
that means it's just this one.
yeah, on Monday too, when I recorded, it didn't record. But I now went back to do the assignment again and record, which is the link you have currently. So, but this one is recorded. I can promise you, I can still see the record icon. So I'm going to upload it and send to you guys. So I'm going to create the Amazon EC2, sign up for it, and do a recording and send to the group too. So when next we meet, we can just spin up a server. So hopefully sometimes this week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. But if you are not joining, no worries. I will make a video, make it very short, less than 15 minutes, so that you guys can see. So, but yeah, that's everything right there. Any other question?
Okay.
Temi, do you have any questions for me?
No questions for now.
Hope you've practiced your command and you know them now.
Yes, I'm getting used to them.
You can print these commands in a A4 paper and paste it in your room. I'm serious. Tell ChatGPT to list all terminal commands and you paste it in your room. You don't necessarily need to be reading it, but if you pass, you see. If you pass, you see again. So it helps you, yeah. All right. Good luck to everyone, and I'll speak to you guys soon.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.